Folks, one game down here in the knockout stage as Netherlands beat the United States 3-1 earlier today. Now we are just minutes away from our second knockout stage game as Argentina faces off against Australia. Hello, everyone. I'm Ahirsan Hassan. Thanks for tuning in this Saturday afternoon from wherever you're tuning in. Kind of a rainy day here in Phoenix. Temperatures currently in the 60s. Kind of a day to stay inside, be kind of warm, but hey, action's heating up on the pitch for sure. We have now moved into the knockout stage, this being the second game I've called it a second game for the round of 16 in general. Just taking a look afterwards, I'll be calling France Poland tomorrow, 8 o'clock Mountain Time. Nothing on Monday. I'll be flying back from Phoenix to Cincinnati. And then on Tuesday, hopefully I can do a doubleheader. Some good games: Morocco, Spain, and then Portugal, Switzerland. I talked about it on my knockout stage preview yesterday that, in my opinion, that's probably going to be the most unpredictable side of the bracket and the most unpredictable quarter. Nonetheless, still in the top left corner, that included Netherlands and the United States. Argentina and Australia will be the other two teams there. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. We'll start off with the visitors, starting off with Australia. In goal, you'll have Matthew Ryan. And in the 4-4-2, going from left to right, you'll have Assis Behic, Kai Rolls, Harry Sauter, and Milos Degerik in the back. Your midfield will consist of Keanu Backus, Jackson Irvine, Aaron Moy, and Matthew Leckie. Up top, Mitchell Duke and Riley McGree. For Argentina on the other side, of course, Australia led by Graham Arnold. Argentina led by Lionel Scaloni, their head coach. They will line up in a 4-3-3 today, as Emiliano Martinez will be in goal. Acuna, Otamendi, Romero, and Molina will be your back line. And then in the midfield, you'll have Alexis McAllister, Enzo Fernandez, and Rodrigo De Paul. And up top, you'll have Julian Alvarez, Lionel Messi, and Papu Gomez. Gomez started the game against Saudi Arabia, did not start the past two games for Australia, and Lionel Messi now playing the number 9 role, and Julian Alvarez getting his first start of the World Cup, got the insurance goal against Poland on Wednesday. So some interesting changes for Argentina, Alvarez and Gomez on the wings. Other than that, not too many changes, other than the fact they moved to a 4-3-3 today, other than the 4-2-3-1 they played on Wednesday against Poland. Australia is currently in the center circle. They'll be the ones to kick off this match. And we're underway here from Ahmad bin Ali Stadium. It's Argentina in the Albiceleste going from left to right. Australia in the yellow tops and green shorts going from right to left. And just like that, Australia starting off on the break, just cleared out there by Fernandez for an Australian throw-in. We've seen this Australian side start to get some momentum early on. This happened against France, where they actually scored the opener, believe it or not, in that one. All the fans in attendance today, very boisterous, very loud. Most of them being Argentina fans, of course, knowing the stature and the fact that Australia is a few thousand miles. That is probably more like 8,000, 9,000 miles away from Doha, Qatar, Al Rayyan, where this game is being played. As I noted, Ahmad bin Ali Stadium. Neither team has played a match in the stadium, so different feel for both of these sides as we're now middle minute through. Pardon me. Julian Alvarez got it last touched off him. Once again, back to Australia. So the Aussies come in looking to try to go onto the stage. This is their second time in the knockout, first since 2006. In 2006, believe it or not, they lost 1-0, but it was to Italy, who ended up winning it. So if there's any kind of indication for Argentina, you get a win against Australia, gives you some validation, both historically and then also just personally, that, hey, maybe you can win it all and get Lionel Messi that World Cup trophy. Of course, Argentina, the reigning Copa America champions, so trying to build on some legacy. Interesting part of the bracket for them on the left side. So according to a lot of pundits, including myself, I mean, I was putting in brackets yesterday on ESPN, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? Most likely it's going to be Argentina against Brazil in the semifinals. That's going to be a banger of a matchup itself. Don't get me started on that. But either way, it's going to be fun to see that. Copa America, but even with Australia too, you've got three teams from the AFC. That is the Asia Football Confederation, not the American Football Conference is known in the NFL. But three teams overall, and that's a good sign. It's a very good sign for Asia that they can make a run. First time three teams from the Asian Confederation has made it. Just to note, there is an Oceania Confederation, but Australia is not a part of it. They decided to group with Asia. Oceania, if you're wondering, includes New Zealand and many of the other islands that surround Australia. They also play. The winner of that qualifying goes into playoff with usually South America. Or actually, no. They go with CONCACAF, pardon me. It was Costa Rica against New Zealand for the qualification, like the playoff qualification round, and Costa Rica ended up winning it, if you're wondering. So, still 4 minutes through, and not too many chances. Both teams still trying to settle in. As I said earlier, Argentina settling with the 4-3-3 today, Australia going 4-4-2. Just looking back at their game against Denmark. It was a pretty interesting game, too. I was tuning in from time to time. It's 1-0 they won. Looking at that game, other than the fact that Goodwin was on the left flank, you're playing Keanu Backus today in that spot. Not a single change. That is your only change of the day for Australia. Still playing the 4-4-2 that they used against Denmark. So, pretty good operation for Australia. Nicolas Otamendi for Argentina. Cristian Romero. Not a Messi. As I noted earlier, Lionel Messi listed as a number 9, but I wouldn't be surprised if he plays more of a false 9 to feed in potentially Julian Alvarez, who's a more natural number 9 in that position, and Papu Gomez as well. Let's take a look at this. So Gomez was the one to whip it in, and Australia might have been called for a handball there. Backus is lucky that the ref didn't blow the whistle. Edge of the box, too, so it could have been given as a free kick or penalty. And would you look at this too? Gianni Infantino, just a few hours ago, he was at Khalifa International Stadium for Netherlands against the U.S. Now he's at Ahmad bin Ali to take in what should be a great matchup here on Argentina against Australia. And a little foul there in the middle. Duke going in on Enzo Fernandez. There's a little rough touch. There's Duke went down. Fernandez actually might have got studs, but either way, they decided to give it towards Argentina. Lionel Scaloni is your head coach for La Albiceste. Of course, known for playing with a lot of these guys. I mean, playing with Argentina himself. Spent a few years as an assistant as well for Argentina. This being, I believe, one of his first, if not his first, coaching job in general. Of course, leading his home country. This one goes back. Otamendi out to Cristian Romero. Now Nahuel Molina on the right. Back towards goal with Emiliano Martinez. And here we go again. So it looks like Scaloni has kind of enjoyed the company, at least of getting that lineup. You know, there was some question on who would be starting there at center back with Otamendi and Romero, but you also have Lisandro Martinez. Martinez ended up starting the game against Mexico, and then Romero came back. There was some scrutiny as to the performances of those center backs, especially after their loss to Saudi Arabia to start off their World Cup campaign. So the winner of this game, I forgot to note this too, and even on the reader for this one, the winner of this game will face Netherlands in the knockout. Should be an interesting one. Netherlands with a commanding 3-1 win over the United States earlier today. Otamendi, now to Enzo Fernandez. Speaking of guys that can be dynamic, Fernandez being one of them. McAllister, Messi, clipped there in the middle, knocked down, and the ref will give the free kick to Messi and the Argentinians. Again, Backus there in the middle. Could have gotten away with the handball this time, called for the foul. There's Fernandez again. Enzo Fernandez. Out towards Molina on the right side, about 35 yards out from goal. And DePaul tried to play it for Messi didn't work out well. Throw in for Australia. Taking a look at this Australia side, I mean, it's a lot of guys in their prime. A lot of people have been touting Matthew Leckie. 76 caps for him, making 77th today. Of course, Matthew Ryan, former goalkeeper at Brighton and Hove Albion in the Premier League, now playing with Copenhagen. He's making his 79th cap today. So, of course, you have guys playing over there. But I also did note this on the call yesterday is the fact that none of the starting 11 guys for Australia play with a Big Five team, which is quite interesting. Only team to have 0%, actually, one of the few. Saudi Arabia and Qatar are also on there, but those two teams are out. Australia's in, and the only team that has less than 50% of their squad that is on a Big Five team, that is Big Five being Premier League in England, Bundesliga in Germany, Ligue 1 in France, Serie A in Italy, La Liga in Spain. And South Korea is the only one that's also there. Everybody else above that mark. So props to Australia. I mean, you have guys that have the heart. Guys, too. I mean, I'm looking at their forward lineup. A lot of guys playing in the A League. Of course, I mean, Australia in sense is a lot like the United States in sense that soccer is a little bit lower down on the totem pole. Australia's got rugby, cricket, AFL, Aussie rules football. I mean, a lot of sports that a lot of people rally then that kind of foreshadow in ways soccer. Very similar in the United States, although soccer in the United States has progressively gotten better over time. In Australia, from what I've heard from the pundits, it's kind of been a little lower down over time, and it kind of just comes out of the World Cup, and people continue to be disappointed overall. In sense, people kind of just disappear, and that's about it. That's about it. So either way, 10th minute here from Ahmad bin Ali Stadium. This one pipped through, looking for Alvarez. Couldn't take the best touch on the ball as he was there in the box. Slaps the ball with frustration, knowing that was possible. But nonetheless, goal kick for Australia. Good ball in, too, by Nicolas Otamendi. Seen a lot of center backs getting some passing etiquette out there. It's great to see, especially as a former center back myself in the few years I played soccer. Just get the ball out, distribute the ball well. I mean, something that you don't really see with center backs, but it is important. As Alvarez going down there was Aziz Behic there. And Sutar there. And Sauter plays it forward. Because there wasn't much pronunciation, guys, but like Harry Sauter. Sauter is probably how I would say it in English, but I mean, knowing that Australia kind of takes it like chowder, shrimp on the barbie, you get it. If you've played around with an Australian accent, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's interesting note. Here's Messi on the ball. Good turn there by Messi. It's interesting too to note like Spanish pronunciation is very easy because it's very phonetic. English, I mean, other than what we've seen, I mean, I've known like I've seen some of the Premier League players play. Hold on. There we go. I'm back. I don't know what's wrong with this stream, honestly. I mean, sometimes it just pauses as seen there. Nonetheless, possession so far in the 12th minute, 73% in favor of Argentina, 19% in favor of Australia. Of course, if Japan Spain taught us anything from Thursday, it's the fact that possession does not mean everything. Japan had 17.7% of the possession, still went on to win. That, I think, is the lowest percentage of possession of any victor in the World Cup history, I think. Here's Alvarez going on the ball, tried feeding it in, still going, and it's cut away there by Behic, trying to circle out of the box as he sends it forward out on the touch. Actually, no, it stays in play. No, pardon me, it went out of bounds, but it was close to the line in that regards. Acuna, now to Papu Gomez again. Gomez going up there against De Gerek. It's Romero, Enzo Fernandez, pardon me. Romero will now get the ball here. And with that, it goes back to base. Emiliano Martinez on the ball. You think about it, Argentina allowed 2 goals against Saudi Arabia. Only 2 shots on goal in that game for the Saudis. And then afterwards, Mexico got blanked. Poland got blanked. So overall, not too bad as offside flag goes up there on Julian Alvarez. Yeah, it's just a shade off from. It looked like he was trying to get back on side, but didn't fully get back on side. So back to Sautar. Kai rolls. And going forward, this one pipped, or at least trying there with Sautar. Either way, back to Argentina. 14th minute, 0-0 between these two sides. And Argentina overall has been the favor when you look at the head-to-head matchup between these two sides. 5 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Most recent result was in 2007 in which Argentina won 1-0. Last time Australia beat Argentina was actually their first meeting between each other back in 1988 in the Bicentennial Gold Cup. Australia ended out victors in that one 4-1. That's actually kind of interesting now that I think about it. That was during the Diego Maradona era. So either Australia had a really lucky day or some of the good players weren't playing for Argentina. Because, I mean, yeah, Maradona played in 86 and 90. 86, Argentina won the World Cup. Still stands as the last time the Argentinians won the coveted trophy, and then 1990 lost to Germany in the final. Now, foul was called there, and I think it's going to go against Australia, and indeed it does. Jackson Irvine picks up the yellow card, first booking of the match. So Irvine there just overstepping it a little bit. I had this speculation in Netherlands, United States earlier today on whether or not they were going to go, that is, the refs were going to just get rid of the yellow cards. Because sometimes when it started the knockouts, they get rid of it. Sometimes it's the start of the quarterfinals when they reset. So I don't know accordingly, when they would reset. I would guess probably for the last one, but I honestly don't know. For the quarterfinals, I guess. Here's Messi out to DePaul. DePaul now cuts inside, 35 yards out or so. Fernandez flips it over to the left side. Papu Gomez now on the ball. Here's Gomez, still dancing on it. Gets it out to DePaul again. DePaul now to Molina. Molina deflected right back as Argentina continues to play, kind of survey the options, not necessarily keep away, survey the options, as I like to put it. Papu again, out of Acuna. Still Argentina with the ball, trying to get something going overall. Yeah, so Irvine did get a yellow card in the game against France. So, as it seems like right now, if Australia were to advance, he would be out for the game against the Netherlands, which I believe would be on Friday. Yes. Here's Messi. Thought about it. Now he clips it out to left for Gomez. Gomez now cutting inside. Gomez shot sails well into the bleachers. Might have actually gone past the small contingent of Australians there. Of course, kudos to Australia, as I said earlier, making the trip out to Qatar, but they've got a small contingent right in front of that net. But either way, Papu Gomez trying to send a rocket to the moon there rather than a rocket into the net. 17th minute, still 0-0 between Argentina and Australia. Of course, as I've said, winner takes on Netherlands on Friday. One back here by DePaul. DePaul clips it through. Messi clips it out wide now for Gomez. Gomez now for Messi. Fernandez. Fernandez clips it through, looking for Messi, headed up in the air there. Good work there by Rolls, and it's booted high up in the air by De Gerek. Back towards midfield, Fernandez. Back to the center backs. Otamendi, now Romero. Now it's Acuna. Once again, Argentina content to just pass the ball around and get something going overall. Romero, yeah, with this too. Australia is starting to use some pressure. Back to Emiliano Martinez. Goes out towards Molina. This one back towards Australia. It's the Aussies, Socceroos, as many call them, try to get something going at all. Irvine crosses this one in. Duke fighting for the ball against DePaul. Can Duke keep it in play? No, he can't. Goal kick for Argentina. Probably best run of the day so far for Australia. Duke, and then I believe it actually would have been Aziz Behich there trying to keep that one in. And Behich to the left back going up against Rodrigo DePaul. Again, I think one of the differences between Australia and Argentina in this match, Behich playing with Dundee United in Scotland and then DePaul playing with Atletico Madrid. Here's Aaron Moy in the middle. Losing the ball there might have been McGree. Now to Messi here on the right. Most of his time at the Barca, he played on the right. This time he'll just settle it out. That's another thing too with Lionel Messi. Ambiguous player, but he shifted away from the right wing, which was last time Argentina went to the finals. That's where he played and played for a lot of his time at Barcelona out on the wing. Of course, has kind of been more of the striker, center attacking midfielder type player. Here he is on the left, can't get there as it goes back to Matt Ryan. Again, not Matt Ryan, the quarterback, although he's not seen much action over. Well, actually, no, he is, but once again, back with Australia. Irvine lost it there for a while. And once again, goes back towards Argentina. Fernandez again. It's Romero. Back towards goal. 20 minutes through this first half. Still 0-0 between Argentina and Australia. Not too many chances overall as Argentina has remained content to look for the best options. This was how they managed the game against Poland, too. Just going forward whenever the opportunity presented them, although Poland went with a little more of a low block in that sort of game, knowing the fact that they just needed a point and then eventually got in off goal differential. They'll be playing tomorrow against France, 8 o'clock a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I will be on the call for it right here from Cronkite. Last call too from Cronkite. Monday I'm headed back to Cincinnati and then I'll be doing it from my parents' basement from Tuesday's quarterfinals or quarterfinals, round of 16 games, all the way to the end of the World Cup. Maybe. Most likely all the way to the end of the World Cup. Either way, still in the area. Now it's out for not Lucky De Gerek on the right side. So Lecky has been kind of a guy targeted rather in a good way by the Australian media. So far, Argentina with 79% of the possession, if you're wondering. Lecky was the one to score the winner for Australia against Denmark, which occurred on Wednesday. Back with Ryan, and he will send this outside for Behich. Behich now out to Sautar. De Gerek, Aaron Moy. Australia has not motored much into Australia's half, but they could have a chance to change that here. Irvine, and once again passing back. So, in ways, Australia may be trying to become a little pragmatic, knowing that they would probably get goals if they get any goals off the counter attack today. Back with Ryan. Ryan once again gets it out to Rolls. Pretty simple tactics so far from the Australians. Sautar, Aaron Moy on the ball. Moy plays forward, could be something, as McCree, De Garrick, back out towards Aaron Moy. And also to note, too, you got Keanu Backus, who is noted as the guy there, but I mean, he's kind of been playing all over. Speaking of which, this cross deflected away there. It was off of Acuna. Cross came in off of Lecky. And with that, first corner kick of the day for the Aussies. Once again, Sautar there in the box. One of the big guys there for them. He scored 6 goals. How about this? 14th cap. He scored 6 goals already for the Aussies. Socceroos looking to maybe draw first blood here. Aaron Moy whips this one into the box, headed away there by Otamendi. Back out to Moy. Aaron Moy, left-footed cross into the box, too far for everybody. Irvine, the closest guy to the ball. This one clipped up the pitch. And this one kind of cut forward there by Sautar. Sautar and Rose will be your center backs today. That's been the pairing, although might have been a change. I don't think so, but no, there has not been a change. So those two have kind of been best buds there in the back for Australia. Then, of course, you got Behic, you got De Garrick, guys on both sides of the ball. You had Lecky score, and then you had Duke score against Tunisia. So that's how Australia got it. So overall, Australia is still 6 points overall, but only 3 goals scored in this World Cup, which is a little bit lower than usual. Argentina, on the other side, has clipped 5. That's tied for third. I think, and don't quote me, but I think England and Spain are tied for the most goals scored with 9. Of course, Spain going crazy on Costa Rica, scoring 7 goals, winning that one by a touchdown. And then you had England beating Iran 6-2 and beating Wales too, 3-0, after drawing the United States in a scoreless matchup. Back towards Aaron Moy, 26th minute. Again, kind of been a tepid game in terms of attack, especially for an Argentinian side that has been known for attacking quite prominently, especially in the game against Saudi Arabia. Had it not been for the offside trap, they could have gone into breakup 4-0. Instead, Saudi Arabia regrouped and ended up winning the game. So that's why soccer's called a beautiful game, I guess. Deflected off Argentina, throw-in for the Aussies. Back is the one winning it there for Australia. As I noted before, Australia, it's been a while since they have won anything, and this is the farthest they have gone at the World Cup. AFC teams in general have struggled at all. Of course, it was last time it happened was Turkey when they did it in 2002. South Korea also did it, but South Korea was also host of the tournament, so they did have some advantage. As you can see on your screen if you're watching this, Australia is kind of outnumbered in terms of fans. Nonetheless, here they are, edge of the box cleared away there by Romero. So just like that, as I said, Australia can kind of beat you when you're not looking at it. Just looking at their game against Denmark, did not have most of the possession in that one too, only 31. So this team is very content to counter attack here, as this one's clipped forward. Behic tried to keep it in play. Indeed, he did, but it was deflected right towards the Argentinians. DePaul, last touched off Irvine, throw-in for Argentina. Yeah, so I'm just looking at Australia in terms of kind of their philosophy, and they're very laid-back team in terms of, I mean, You think about it, kind of like Australian beaches over there. It's nice weather. You think about it. Either way, I'll get off my high horse. Yeah. Every game they have played so far, Australia that is, they have not won the possession battle. 42% was the highest, and that was against Tunisia. So this team, as I've said before, loves to just get on the counterattack, especially against teams that knowing that Australia is probably going to be the lesser of teams, at least in the terms of rankings, going into this number 38. Kind of the case today with Argentina at number 3 in the world. You think about it, though, we've seen the upsets. Saw number 1 Brazil go down to Cameroon, of course, not playing much into the knockout stage and the ramifications there. But Belgium, number 2, number 1 overall, going out. Nonetheless, McGree into the box, headed down, still in the area, now headed away by Argentina. How about that? Riley McGree with a good chance there. Good ball and just couldn't get ahead to it. Backus places back towards the box on a through ball, out towards Lecky. Lecky out of the corner against Acuna, and he's lost it. And Acuna shoved there by Lecky. Free kick for Lau Biceste. And again, too, just taking a look at that, it's hard to tell who the initial header was, and I think it was actually Sautar, the guy who, as I noted earlier, has been scoring goals left, right, and center. Believe it or not, as a center back, 6 goals in 13 caps for him. So one more, and you think about it, he's got 14 and 7. I mean, he's averaging a goal per 2 caps. That's pretty good, especially for a center back. Some midfielders can't even get to that mark. It's a nifty move there by De Gerek as he plays back towards Ryan. Back towards De Gerek. Out there by McAllister. No. Still in play. Pipped forward by Sautar. So Australia has started to get some momentum. Argentina trying to win it back, though. Here's Messi on the ball. Messi tried playing throughout to Gomez on the wing, but was knocked away. Crunching tackle there by Romero. As once again it goes out towards Acuna. Acuna? Otamendi? Romero. Or Fernandez rather, now to Romero. So Enzo Fernandez again, we've seen this in Scaloni's philosophy is the fact of the holding midfielder almost playing like a third center back role in terms of building out of the back. And it's an interesting approach, surely. Nonetheless, Molina now in the area, Messi too. Now it goes out towards Molina. It was cut away there, I believe. Couldn't tell the number. Now I think might have I still couldn't tell. Maybe Duke. Either way. Out towards Acuna. 30 minutes through, we have 15 minutes plus stoppage time left to go in this first half. Still scoreless between Argentina and Australia. DePaul plays it towards Messi upon checking in. DePaul can't win it back. As the Aussies maybe try to get a counter here. Clip forward, headed up, going out. Irvine at least trying to find one of the strikers there. And going down there was McGree. Free kick for the Aussies, and Acuna pointing towards the ref saying, "No, I didn't." And then I don't know. I mean, it could have been part flop, part fall, but either way, free kick for the Aussies, who have now taken some part of the momentum away from an Argentina side that, on the paper and then also in the stands, is the home team for this game. So once again, Aaron Moy to take this one about 30 yards out. You have one man in the wall for Argentina. So here we go. Aaron Moy once again to take it. Moy whips this one into the box. So looking for his options and overshoots everybody in that regard. Goes out. Argentina throw in their defensive third. Yeah. So here's Molina again. You think about it. Telemundo broadcast is just stating the fact that Australia hasn't beaten Argentina in a few games and since 1988. I'm telling you, you got some interesting research here. Nonetheless, Acuna on the left. Now, Enzo Fernandez. This is what Argentina can do to you. Sometimes you're out of it, sometimes you're going forward, but then just like that, that's sometimes what the best teams do. They're just very focused and very powerful sometimes at any given moment. Look at Netherlands US earlier today. Netherlands was, I mean, kind of on the back foot of possession, United States with a lot of chances, but hey, they caught them lacking and made the United States pay for it. Here's Rodrigo, tried getting it out on the wing, deflected, headed back by Australia. So here's Fernandez. Messi tried getting a turn on that. It was a good cut there by Backus to win it back for Australia. Nonetheless, gives it right back towards the Argentinians. Nonetheless, pressure keeps on coming. This time it's Bihic trying to keep it in play. And I think it might have gone off of Behic last. So throw in for Argentina. I don't know. Messi was giving some chase to it. Yeah. Did not look like Messi got a touch to it, but those two were tussling there as the ball went out on the touchline. Molina, push there, and it's going to be a free kick for Argentina. Papu Gomez tried to get the ball, chesting it down. It was a big shove there by Behic. And once again, Behic, the target from the many Argentinians that are kind of surrounding him over time. First was Messi, and now some other guys there. So just like that, another opportunity for Argentina. So here we go. Lionel Messi, the man himself, to take this one. Gonna be from a little rough angle, so it could be whipped in direct, it could be indirect. Nonetheless, bodies have countered the box, including Alexis McAllister, Nicolas Otamendi, even Julian Alvarez, who could be your pseudo striker for today. Nonetheless, Messi wearing the captain's armband, the chance to get his 94th goal potentially for Argentina. Messi whips us into the box, headed away. Good work there by the Aussies. Gomez redirects it back out towards Messi. What can he do? Messi plays it toward the middle, played it back. Here's Messi again. Messi! It's in the net! Goal for Argentina right here in the 35th minute. The man himself, Lionel Messi, has opened the scoring. It's a great ball in, and boy, oh boy, Lionel Messi found the open space as he was out on the wing, went into the center, and it's put in the back of the net. Argentina 1, Australia 0. What did I say earlier about Argentina kind of being sneaky in ways? You know, just when you think you're safe, you're not. And it helped a lot with Lionel Messi. Of course, only 5'7", kind of a smaller guy on the pitch, but boy, oh boy, does he lead his team, and boy, does he have the talent to lead it as well. One of the best to ever do it has opened up the scoring here, 1-0 in favor of La Albiceste. Yeah, it was a good touch, too. I mean, I forget who might have gotten the last touch. They'll be credited with the assist here. It might have been Alvarez. Yeah, Julian Alvarez there credited with the assist for Messi. But nonetheless, boy, oh boy, I mean, you think about Lionel Messi, he can finish from any angle there. But big moments, big players show up in big moments for sure. To a guy that, I mean, most likely will be his last World Cup, and every year in the Lionel Messi era, they have made it. Now, round of 16, they did go to the quarterfinals in 2006. 2010, I think it was also the quarterfinals. But then afterwards, 2018 was one of the worst years, at least for Messi, in terms of playing with Argentina, as they were out in the round of 16. Lost to Kylian Mbappe and France. In my opinion, still goes down as one of the best knockout stage games I've ever seen, as it was a back and forth match. Kylian Mbappe with the brace and also drew a penalty, which Antoine Griezmann converted. I think that was, in ways, Kylian Mbappe's coming out party and put him on the world stage. Either way, foul was called as it was Backus there going up against Otamendi, and Otamendi earns the free kick for the Argentines. Now towards Molina. Romero was back with Otamendi, now back towards base, and Emiliano Martinez. Nifty touch there by Romero's. He had Duke right in his face as Martinez sends it over to Argentina's left side. Some of the Argentinian fans, I mean, they're jumping up and down in the stadium. I mean, starting to get a conga line going. I mean, quite impressive. De Garrick somehow called for a yellow here. He's kind of surprised on exactly what happened. We'd have to take a look at this. But either way, second yellow card of the day for De Garrick going up against Acuna. I didn't see much. I mean, Acuna clutched his face, but all De Garrick does was just touch it. That was about it. I mean, I don't see much call for a foul in that sense at all. Either way, I mean, Argentina getting a little favoritism from the ref, per usual, as I've talked about in previous broadcasts, calling Argentina. But nonetheless, they continue on up 1-0, courtesy of the man himself, Lionel Messi, doing it in the 35th minute. So now Australia, actually, believe it or not, this is the first time for Australia in this World Cup they did not score the opening goal. Yeah, even in France, they scored the opening goal, and then France came back to take the lead and eventually win it. Sorry, not De Garrick, Degenik. Degenik is now down on the pitch in need of some help. Of course, Milos Degenik, the guy there for Australia playing right back, as he has done over the past few games. 39th minute, so we've got about 6 minutes plus stoppage time before halftime. So far, Argentina pretty comfortable and a pretty comfortable lead as well against an Australia side that is known for not playing much of possession. So now they're going to have to dig deep in terms to get that equalizer, if they can muster an equalizer in this one. Acuna pips it up, trying to find Alvarez. Either way, it's a good pip and a good nick there by Australia. Either way, still out on the left-hand side, and now it'll be McAllister circling back, clipping it forward. Might have been looking there towards Messi, I guess. So I guess they have gotten back to the traditional shape that is Messi up top, Julian Alvarez on the left, Papu Gomez on the right. Once again, Australia throwing. Degenik sends it up, and once again, the deflection there sends it back towards Argentina and Papu Gomez. DePaul back to Gomez, back towards DePaul, now out towards Otamendi. Once again towards Gomez. Gomez able to get a touch out, kicks it out on the right, and here's Alvarez now. Now cut it back, going towards DePaul. He'll switch the pitch over towards Acuna. Once again, round and round the ball goes in favor of Argentina. Gomez. Molina. Now to DePaul. Still in Australia territory, still looking for potentially goal number 2 before this half is all said and done. Acuna now on the left, Messi, or McAllister rather, with the check-in. DePaul. Now here's Messi. Once again, it's Acuna. McAllister. Now to Messi. Kind of in the center of the pitch. Messi still going. Cut away there. Good work to just clear it out there by Harry Sautar of Australia. And now there's an Argentinian down, and indeed, it is Messi clutching his ankle area. Not a good sign to see. Looks like Messi will be okay. Won't need any help, as he tells the official who went to go check in on him. But nonetheless, Sautar, the decent. I mean, you think about it. Actually, no. I beg my pardon. It's not technically a foul since Sautar got some deflection. I was thinking, you know what? He did get Messi's studs a little bit, but either way, he did get ball, and that's more important. 3 minutes plus stoppage time left to go in this first half. Still, Argentina 1, Australia nil. Unfortunately, the United States lost earlier today. They will be playing the victor in today's earlier contest, that is Argentina and Australia, as they will face off against Netherlands in the quarterfinals. Here's Papu on the ball. So Romero once again has to boot it deep. Not too much of production in that regards for them. So Ryan again goes to Rose. Ryan gains some pressure by Alvarez as Australia continues to try to build out of the back here. Irvine tried to flick it forward as Duke came back. And now here we see Australia maybe getting something going, but nonetheless played it back towards Behic. Moy flips it out right-hand side now. Controlled there by Degenek up against Acuna. Back is swept in to get it, but his sweep was a little too far as Otamendi collects. Otamendi again. Now to Molina. Molina out to Papu Gomez. DePaul. Once again, we go back to the center backs. Kind of in the story of the game, save for Argentina picking and choosing their moments on when to attack Argentina. Gomez. Messi back to Gomez. Fernandez. Otamendi still in Argentina half. Now towards DePaul. Paul. So once again was played back. Those two have kind of been going back and forth. And even Papu Gomez, too, is playing as a center midfielder for that time. 45th minute here. So half starting to wind down. Argentina still up 1-0. Haven't seen that many stoppage time goals, at least at the end of the first half in this World Cup. We did see it earlier today with Daley Blind making it 2-0 against the United States. Other than that, it's been a relatively decent game in that regards. This is Moy once again to Behic. Behic turning on the ball. Again, back towards Rose, and now back towards Ryan. Plays this across the face of the goal to Sautar. Degenek. Sautar again, clipping it back, and was deflected off of Alvarez. Throw in for Australia, still in the defensive third, though. 2 minutes of added time here at Ahmad bin Ali Stadium. Full house on tap for the second round of 16 matchup, as we'll get our first quarterfinal matchup determined at the end of this match. Netherlands beat United States 3-1 earlier today. Argentina, as it stands, would be facing off against Netherlands, a rematch of the semifinal from 2014. Argentina ended up winning on penalties after it was scoreless in 120 minutes. Back towards Ryan, and once again, Australia continues to build out of the back here, if they can. Starting to sound like a broken record in that regards. Or simply, knowing the fact that they haven't kept much possession, just keep possession. Don't pull a United States and be down 2-0 because, United States had possession in that game, and props to Greg Berhalter and crew. But either way, Australia has, that's not in their bread and butter to go and attack and be a possessive team. They love to get teams on the counterattack, especially knowing if they're the lesser of teams in that specific match. Here's Irvine. Ball went out. Might have been deflected. No, it wasn't. So throw in for Molina, who takes it right back for Argentina. Emiliano Martinez now on the left-hand side for Otamendi. It's Acuna again. So picked off here in the middle. Once again, back towards Australia. Approaching 2 minutes left to go. Maybe a chance here, but it's cleared away there by Romero. Off of McAllister's head, out of play. And with that, it's the end of first half here at Ahmad bin Ali Stadium. It's Argentina up 1-0 against Australia, courtesy of a Lionel Messi goal that occurred in the 35th minute after it was a free kick taken and eventually bounced around, and Lionel Messi cutting inside. The sharpshooter, as it is, got it past Matthew Ryan, the Australian goalkeeper, to make it a 1-0 game. The question is, does Australia keep the or Australia? Does Argentina keep the lead and advance, or does Australia make a comeback? I'll take a few minutes off for halftime, and then I'll be back for the second half right here on YouTube. Don't go anywhere, folks. Welcome back to the second half of action here from Ahmad bin Ali Stadium, where Argentina and Australia have made their way out of the dressing rooms for the second half. Currently, it's Argentina up 1-0, courtesy of a goal by their captain, the man himself, Lionel Messi, fresh off a free kick. I'm Mahirson Hassan. Thanks for tuning in this Saturday afternoon and what has been an interesting day so far. This is the second knockout game of the day. Earlier today, Netherlands, unfortunately, beat the United States 3-1. So the red, white, and blue are officially headed back home, unfortunately, instead of playing for more. But nonetheless, still got some pretty interesting action here from Ahmad bin Ali Stadium. Argentina, maybe with a chance to show some dominance, something they have not done that much. I mean, it's been pretty straightforward. You've got two goals overall. Two goals. They won in Mexico. Two-goal win against Poland, able to kind of settle down today, and now they're up 1-0 at the break here. So obviously, a lot of different moving parts in this game, starting off with Lionel Messi. And of course, Messi's kind of been playing all over the pitch. He's been playing on the right, he's been playing center attacking mid. Today, as a number 9 role, Papu Gomez on the right, Julian Alvarez on the left. As it appears, I don't think that there has been any changes at halftime from either side. So I won't have to look at the roster sheets. So it looks like we are ready to go for half number 2. Of course, a lot of interesting games tomorrow. France and Poland, England and Senegal. I'll be on the call for France, Poland, which will be at 8 o'clock, bright and early again. 8 o'clock here in Phoenix. The last call here from the edit base at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. Back underway here in Qatar for the second half between Argentina and Australia. It's Argentina now moving from right to left. Australia going from left to right. Of course, Argentina being kind of a popular group, with Messi and all, they're going to have the home crowd behind them. And especially on today, they are the home crowd, period. I mean, it's not the case on paper they are, which on paper they are the home crowd, but boy, oh boy, have they shown out today. They've been quite boisterous, especially after the Messi goal. Some of them were just jumping up and down in their seats. I think especially like at least from the American standpoint, we talk about the supporter sections and the standing rails and all that stuff. Like that is the supporter section. But hey, you know what? If there's one thing you learn from the World Cup, it's the fact that anybody and everybody can celebrate. Doesn't matter where they are in the seats. They can all make the noise. They can all participate in this great sport. Here's Papu Gomez again. McAllister taps it back to Messi. Messi out to Alvarez, who tried flipping it out to the left. Eventually gets over to Acuna, who just plays it back towards Otamendi. So about a minute through, so nothing major. Although, if you watched Poland against Argentina on Wednesday, you know the fact that it was a pretty back and forth game, and Argentina got the first goal just 3 minutes into the second half. Mexico, Saudi Arabia had not even returned to their second half. So the fact that they were at that position, quite impressive in my opinion. Here's DePaul, Romero, and again, Romero passes it back to Emiliano Martinez. Martinez tried clipping it out. It was deflected there a little while. As you had, let's take a look at this. Yeah, you had Duke making a run for it. Could have deflected that in. I mean, very similar to how Karius and Benzema was back in the 2018 Champions League final. Very similar. And Australia could have gotten their first goal of the match. Of course, Australia being one of those sides that has scored a goal in every match. Of course, you don't get that matchup every day of the week. And it has happened a few times overall in terms of getting this type of matchup. Two teams that haven't been shut out of the World Cup. Happened twice in 2018, Uruguay, Portugal, Sweden, Switzerland. Last time the number 2 beat the number 1 seed in this type of matchup was Senegal over Sweden. Meanwhile, Argentina now on the attack. Molina, now to Messi. Messi again surveys his options. Out to Molina on the right. Molina now walking pace. Now he's bursting forward. Trying to still go there was Molina. Nonetheless, Messi gets it and it's clipped out to Acuna. Acuna to Otamendi. So once again, round and round, the ball goes in favor of the Albiceleste. Romero. Now Otamendi again. This one towards midfield as cut back towards Romero. Papu again. It's Enzo Fernandez. Still on the ball. Kind of still at midfield. So Argentina still content to still play the ball around. Might have been a lesson learned from the Saudi Arabia game, not just give up possession willy-nilly, because the Saudis were really good at counterattacking in that game, and eventually they got the winner. It worked out in their favor. Now the ref has blown the whistle. I believe there might be a change, and indeed there is. So Papu Gomez will be heading off, and in the game now will be Lisandro Martinez. So speaking of playing pragmatic and playing in that sort of way, has been shown there with Lionel Scaloni. Lisandro Martinez, the center back, checking in for Papu Gomez, who is playing winger this match. Here's Otamendi again. Acuna. Back to Lisandro. So I'm guessing then Lisandro Martinez would probably play more of a higher left back role, while Acuna would probably be more of the left wing back, moving probably Alvarez to the middle. Here's Messi trying to play through. It goes out wide now. And here's Molina now in the area. Molina clips it in low. McAllister gets a touch on it. It goes out to Messi. Messi's shot saved there by Ryan. It was deflected on the way, so it was a little easier for the Aussie goalkeeper. And Messi kind of slipped on the pitch as well. Just looking overall at the pitch quality, I mean, I've noticed this too in the first half. There's a lot of brown lines on the pitch. It might be the case of just how many games each pitch is going to get, including Ahmad Ben Ali Stadium, which has seen a lot of games so far in this World Cup. Started off in November 21st when the United States played Wales there. Degenik sends forward, and just like that, we see another slip on the pitch. I mean, I don't know what has happened to this pitch in the past few days, but I think the wear and tear of the games is really shown. Really shown. This one, once again, out on the wing. It might have been Irvine going forward. Either way, goes back. Here's Aaron Moy on the ball. Kai rolls. Now his fellow center back, Harry Sauter. Sauter passes it out to Milos Degenik. So McAllister again, tripped up, free kick. 52nd minute, about 6 minutes through the second half. Still Argentina up 1-0. The only change so far that's been made is Papu Gomez off. As he danced on the ball a little bit, but I mean, it's better than Papu can't dance. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. Papu can dance. I mean, he was dancing for a little while. So it looks like Alvarez would probably move into the number 9 position. Messi kind of playing second striker. Acuna playing more of a left mid. Molina going up. That's what I would assume then. McAllister kind of got a rough touch there, looking for Acuna. McAllister, though, picks it off here. So it goes to Fernandez. Fernandez to Romero. And once again, Australia with a little tough touch, but Behic keeps it in place, sending it up towards Irvine. It's McAllister, Acuna, Lisandro Martinez, Otamendi. It's Molina. Still kind of pressured there by the Aussies. So kind of that back and forth game, should we say. Emiliano Martinez just has to clear it away. And again, almost gave possession up. This time with Duke again. Again, very sloppy play, but more importantly, a high line from Australia really pressuring the Argentinians. So lucky, and then also Duke almost getting a touch, as I said earlier, almost Karius-like to knock that one in. Acuna sees us out. Goal kick. Now it will officially go up the pitch. Let's look at Angel Di Maria, who is on the bench today. Started the game, every game, except this one. Excuse me. Yeah. This one just played outside for Romero. Romero still circling and eventually just has to clip it up. Handball called there on, I believe, Riley McGree. So then again, I mean, just going back to what I said at the top of the show, I mean, I talked about Australia being this team. There was an ESPN article yesterday. It was really good about the fact that 2006 inspired a lot of kids, especially the guys that are playing in the match right now. And ESPN said, I think there was one quote that, you know, people are going to really understand and realize who are these blokes who are playing this game, and especially against a team like Argentina, who, I mean, we all know too well, Argentina, reigning Copa America champions, one of the favorites to win. I mean, I think second in terms of favorites, or at least in terms of potentially getting it. I think Brazil is the only one that's gotten more clicks, at least in terms of bracket challenges, in terms of just looking at it, perusing over it, odds as well, like 538. Enzo Fernandez again, now to McAllister. Will have to go out to the left, and indeed he does so with Acuna. Back towards McAllister. And that McAllister sends it back towards the center back in Otamendi. Now to Romero. Is Nahuel Molina again. Again, Argentina with a good mix of guys that play abroad and then also guys that are playing back home. Although the only guy that is playing currently in Argentina is Franco Armani, one of the backup goalkeepers as he plays for River Plate. Meanwhile, Matt Ryan off his line just has to head it out for an Argentina throw. And this will be in the attacking third. They'll take it quick as it's Messi out to Molina. Tried getting an overlapping run going. It's cleared out again. Take two for Argentina. Once again, Molina to take it here. As I noted earlier, the winner goes on to the quarterfinals. They'll be facing Netherlands on Friday. So you got Tuesday and then Wednesday, Thursday, a couple days off. Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be your quarterfinals. Here's Fernandez again. Again, Acuna just has to play back there. Might have actually been Alvarez, but either way. Molina, pipped out there by Alvarez. Messi again, tried giving it back to Alvarez off the through. Didn't work at all. Headed down, and maybe a chance here for the Argentinians. No, says back as he kicks it away towards his goalkeeper. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but if that was intentional, that should have been a free kick for Argentina in the box. Little mistake there. Matt Ryan goes down. It's one back and put in the net. Julian Alvarez saw the pressure, took it right off of Matt Ryan's foot. And just like that, Argentina has doubled the lead, now up 2-0 against Australia. We talked about gaps potentially for Emiliano Martinez on the other side, and now Julian Alvarez has scored in his second consecutive game for his country. Argentina 2, Australia 0. And again, I mean, pressure just got to him. I mean, that's what you call a tag team right there, if you know what I mean. Julian Alvarez. Let's take a look at this. So Ryan got it out towards Behich, who kind of played it back. And once again, it was kind of towards the players there. And once again, Alvarez was the one to just sneak it there. You have to give credit to Rodrigo de Paul, the man who initiated some sort of pressure. Then Alvarez finished off the job with the second goal of the day. And just like that, if you're Australia, I mean, you got to be kicking yourself. I don't want to say it's coffin nails right now because, I mean, this has been a crazy World Cup unto itself. But either way, Backus and McGree are off. Hurstick and Goodwin are now in. So just to reiterate the substitutions, you got, as I said, Goodwin playing kind of your forward role somewhat. It's interesting to see where he's fits in the lineup, but either way, Craig Goodwin 13 caps for him overall. And the other guy was Hristic. Could have been dreaming, I don't know. Yeah, it was Adjun Hristic, 23rd cap for him. Listed as a midfielder, but he could potentially go forward and maybe give Mitchell Duke a true number 9 role. So here we are in the 60th minute, about 30 minutes plus stoppage time left to go in this one. Argentina up 2-0 against Australia. Again, as I noted at halftime, trying to maybe get some more command in this game and in some games in general. I mean, like I said, has not won a game by 3 or more goals in this World Cup, although they have beaten Mexico and Poland by both 2 goals. So Alvarez gets it back here. Of course, fresh off a goal for him, Julian Alvarez. Second goal for him at this World Cup, 5th overall for his countries in his 16th cap today. Let's take a look at this. We got an overhead view. How about that? Props to FIFA for all these angles and just like that, just snatched away there. As was DePaul he tried to get the peg first before Alvarez got a touch of the ball and then swiped it past everybody, and even a sliding Kai Rolls couldn't block that out. 2-0. 2-0 in favor of Argentina. Otamendi, Lisandro Martinez. Lisandro pips it up, looking for Alvarez, and eventually just pit back before goal. Julian Alvarez is an interesting situation. Of course, he's with City, but kind of a guy that comes off the bench a lot, and rightfully so, especially recently with Erling Haaland going off so far in this Premier League campaign. So far, leading the Premier League, I believe, with 18 goals, which is, I think, 5 or 6 more than the next man up, believe it or not. So, I mean, I don't see, if I'm Pep Guardiola, I don't see why I should take Erling Haaland out. But it could be interesting to see, like, if he decides to play Alvarez, potentially even in a winger role in that regards. He did a pretty decent job as a winger today. Nonetheless, Hristuk flips the pitch here. High in the air, sent over to Behic on the other side. Good ball control, too. It's Moy. Now in the center. Irvine on the ball. Here's Goodwin. Goes down. Will the ref call free kick? Yes, he will. As Goodwin is on the ground, writhing in pain, clutching his ankle. Romero was the one with the foul there, and DePaul and Romero both were kind of just shell-shocked as to why that foul was called. Either way, it's about 20, 25 yards out on the left-hand side, so it could be a whip into the box. It could be direct. But either way, I think this one most likely will be indirect since it will be Aaron Moy with his... Actually, no, Aaron Moy is a right footer. I apologize for that. But you've got Goodwin and Moy out there. Of course, tall bodies, once again in the box. The trees trying to reap the fruit here. So once again, Moy and Irvine. It's going to be, let's see, Goodwin, sorry, to take this one in. Back post, flicked back in. Kept in play. Props to the Australians, but nonetheless, they've got to do something. Hristuk, again, out towards Moy. Now in the center of the pitch. Flipped out wide now for Goodwin. Crossed it in. Cleared away there by Molina. It's Messi. Now to DePaul. Molina again just has to touch it off as he was pressured there in the middle. Fernandez back towards Messi. What can Messi do? Messi cuts back. Now it's out to Acuna. Acuna. Let's give him to Lisandro. Played that there by Enzo Fernandez. Here's Romero now on the ball. So it does give a little freedom in the sense that Enzo Fernandez can go a little bit forward and truly be a six instead of almost playing like a third center back, as we've seen at times. McAllister now, Messi, Romero, Lisandro, Fernandez. Once again, field general in the middle, Nicolas Otamendi. Argentina still contempt to pass the ball around as Fernandez goes down. No foul called as here comes Australia the other way. Good cutaway there by Romero to make sure it's out of danger's way. Messi still going. Oh, he split the two guys. Messi's still going. Gets out to Alvarez. Back towards Messi. Messi still going. Messi can't get a shot off. It's a great cutaway there by the Australians. But how about that? Lionel Messi, for about 40 yards or so, took the ball for himself. Even when he lost it, he got the ball back. That was until Genic just cleared it away. Got the last touches. Messi could have thought of getting the shot off, getting that brace over there, but for now, it heads over to the corner flag here in the 65th minute. As one played short, here's Messi again. Now to DePaul. In space, DePaul whips it in, back post, header, no good. Romero couldn't get a touch on it. The initial one was by Otamendi, too. So the two center backs unable to convert. Last man back, which I believe might be Fernandez, but don't quote me on it, sends it right back towards Emiliano Martinez as the formation for Argentina regroups. It's Molina again. It was actually Molina, pardon me. Last man back. Once again in the area. Out with Lisandro Martinez. Now out, truly out, with Acuna. He 1-2s with Messi. And here comes Acuna the other way. He'll whip this in. Good ball in, but unable to get a touch there was the Argentinian. McAllister now redirects this on the back post. That is on the right-hand side, well away from goal. But now it's back. Edge of the box. Here's Messi. Messi's shot off target. Once again, Argentina not content of keeping just a 2-0 lead. Let's take a look at this again. As Messi tried to get a shot off, once again got the laces, just couldn't redirect it. Kind of on the left side of goal, so it needed some kind of redirection to make sure it was on target. That is kind of tilting his body, making sure he shoots it with his iconic left foot, and it goes out. Back with the offseason now. Here's Deganic. Deganic again. Shoved there by Lisandro, and with that, it's going to be a free kick for Australia. This one, too, relatively dangerous position, about 30-ish yards out. I mean, that, and I say that, too. I mean, one could say, where's Luis Chavez where you need him? But either way, the Aussies going up on the pitch, making sure they have their rights in the right place. Sorry to get my charger. Battery's running low. Once again, Goodwin to take the free kick. In-swinger into the box. Caught there. Emiliano Martinez, that is, of course. A few other Martinez. Lautaro Martinez, who was on the bench. Sandro Martinez, who was just checked into the match. Acuna again. It's Messi. It's good, nifty work, and just like that, picked off by the Australians, only for Lisandro to boot it up in the air. Lisandro Martinez, played by Goodwin, making a run for it. Who got it last? Last touched off Ristuk. Throw in for Argentina. Just like that, the 2-0 advantage continues for the Argentinians, keeping possession, keeping power, and right now, keeping their to a quarterfinal date with Netherlands. It's Messi again. Let's have a cut back. Messi's been playing a little back throughout this entire World Cup. It's sense that I think he understands his position, and I think before I think and here's another thing that Scaloni has maybe allowed Messi to do is before he used to be restricted to that right wing or the striker area. Now I think he kind of has omnipotence to kind of go wherever he pleases to, as long as there's space available. That's what Messi's going to do. He's going to fill space, and I think in that way he's going to fill possession as well. It's part of why Argentina's maybe gotten better, especially over this past 2 years. Won Copa America, done pretty well, solid in World Cup qualifying as well. Meanwhile, Acuna now thought he was in the clear, but a late whistle had blown, and he's called for the foul as Degenek went to ground. And even then, I don't think Degenek might have gotten the benefit of the doubt there. Just kind of went down, not much of a touch either way. Kind of just tripped over himself. Boy, would have that been something had Acuna been in the clear. 70th minute. We're now 20 minutes plus stoppage time left. Winner is to be decided, or potentially, I should say, potentially to be decided. Of course, if it is still tied, we have 30 minutes of extra time coming up. And then, if it's tied after that, penalties. Don't see that happening here the way it's going, unless Australia was to make an entire 180. That is, I mean, I'm still announcer. I got a black tongue. Anything can happen. So we're gonna assume that this game is still well up in grabs. Let's look at some of the personnel there. Taking a look at the Australian fans. Boy, did they come a long way for this. There's actually a Brazilian, a guy wearing a Brazil jersey in the squad, and you have to give credit to with Australians head coach Graham Arnold. This is his fourth year, or rather, he's been coaching Australia for 4 years now. Was an assistant from 2000 to 2006. Of course, 2006 was the year when Australia made it to the round of 16 and was actually the interim manager from 2006 to 2007. In general, he spent 14 years as a coach with Australia, either as a caretaker head coach or as an assistant in general. Also, in these past 4 years, I should note he's also been the head coach for Australia's U23 side. As a player, he spent 12 years with the Aussies, 56 caps, 19 goals. Of course, he was a midfielder during his time, kind of playing on the wing. Speaking of the wing, Julian Alvarez has been playing there for majority of the day. He also picked up what is right now the insurance goal. He will head off, and heading on will be Lautaro Martinez. Also heading off will be Acuna. Again, great shifts per usual from Marcos Acuna, and coming in will be Nicolas Tagliafico. That's another thing too with Acuna. I mean, Tagliafico had been the left back in 2018, and it had been the case early on. But Acuna has started to get some more caps overall, and Tagliafico was the left back in the first match. Now it's time for the Aussies to make some changes. So you're going to have Duke heading off, and in the process, number 9, McLaren, Jamie McLaren will be coming on. Degenek is also off, so is Lecky. In place, you're going to have Garankuol in the middle, and also there for Degenek. Couldn't catch the last one. But either way, plethora of changes from both sides. 73rd minute, again, still some time left if Australia were to make a comeback in this one and equalize it, but you only have 18 minutes plus stoppage time, so about 20 to 25 minutes in total to officially make said comeback. Rodrigo de Paul, not a Lionel Messi, played it in the air, and here's Lautaro Martinez. Now he's still going for the ball, trips an Australian in the process, and the ref says, get up. So in ways, kind of Argentina getting the benefit of the doubt, I guess. I don't know. I've been saying that a lot, and I should probably stop saying it, knowing, one, I think it takes away from the type of talent that Argentina has. But I think another idea is just that. So 5 changes have been made for Australia, 3 changes have been made for Argentina. This one, nonetheless, pipped forward, giving chase on the ball. McLaren tried crossing it in, once again collected by Argentina, who clears it, well, only as far and caught there. It was actually a good pick off there by Jackson Irvine. So now it's time, I think, at least for Argentina to chill a moment in general. Of course, before their loss to Saudi Arabia 2-1, the last time they lost to a team from the Asian Football Confederation was Japan back in 2010. That game took place in Saitama, so it was a road game for Argentina. 2010, so it's been 12 years the last time Argentina dropped a game to an AFC side. It's Moy once again out wide. Once again, cool. Probably check in here. There's a little just camera on him. Of course, a few changes recently for Australia. And I don't know what's happened with ESPN, but they haven't registered him yet. But either way, Back is off, McGree's off. Duke and McGree are both off. Nonetheless, the shot here by Tagliafico goes wide. It's Nicolas Tagliafico playing left back, I would guess, but I think since Acuna is playing higher up the pitch, so is Tagliafico. And his shot there just trickled wide of goal for Argentina. 75 minutes through, 15 minutes left to go in this one. And take a look there with Irvine's challenge on Lautaro Martinez and Tagliafico just dribbling it wide. Could have been 3-0 in favor of the Argentinians. Nonetheless, another pip out here by Ryan. Headed down by Tagliafico, out for an Argentinian throw-in. Now there's some discrepancy. There are two balls on the pitch. Now the ref will concurrently stop play in that regards. He'll just play it, drop down to Irvine, and once again, back to normal. So, as I was saying earlier, Lecky went off, Kuo's now in, Degenik has now been replaced. This one swung in, still in the area, the shot deflected, and it's gone in the net! And just like that, Australia has a chance. It's the man himself, the guy who scored against France, Craig Goodwin, with his third goal for his country. Just like that, Australia has half the lead. And just like that, there's a glimmer of hope for the Socceroos. So forget about who's subbing in for Degenik, which I can check right now. Degenik is being replaced by Fran Karasic. Fran Karasic, wearing number 5 today. But yeah, it's deflected away. Actually, could have been a handball. You think about it. Enzo Fernandez kind of stuck out his elbow like that. So either way, I mean, even if it hadn't gone in the net, probably would have been a penalty. But either way, Australia with a chance here to potentially equalize the match. It's kind of deja vu to what we saw earlier today with Netherlands and the United States. Netherlands getting a 2-0 advantage, United States getting a lucky goal, and now it's an interesting match. Question is, does Argentina put coffin nails or does Australia keep on fighting? Enzo Fernandez out to Molina. Molina, nutmeg Goodwin there. In the meantime, it was deflected off to Paul, throw-in for the Aussies. As I noted earlier, Australia, the only time they ever made it to the knockout was against Italy back in 2006. They lost that game 1-0. So again, going forward here, Lautaro Martinez out of Messi. Once again, Messi on the ball, slides it out, trying to find Tagliafico. It's pipped off there by Karacic. Still going there. Tagliafico somehow kept that in play fresh off the deflection. Nonetheless, Argentina again on the attack. Goes out to DePaul in space. DePaul cuts it back towards Messi. Messi now looks for options out to Tagliafico, edge of the box, cuts inside, and now Tagliafico will remain patient. Played in now for Messi in the middle. Messi out to Tagliafico again. Tagliafico thought about the cross or shot, but either way, it's just clipped out, and Karacic on the ground swiped it away from Tagliafico out on the end line for an Argentine corner kick. Is this? I think Tagliafico was onside. I don't know, but I think it would be. So before we get a corner, and actually there's not going to be a corner, so I beg my pardon. Couple changes. First off, Alexis McAllister will head off for Argentina. So will Nahuel Molina. Checking in for McAllister. It's hard to tell the number, but I think it will be number 14, Ezequiel Palacios. Ezequiel Palacios is one, and then also heading out will be Molina. So there's Nahuel Molina going off. Hard to tell who would place his spot, but I would guess maybe Montiel in that case. Yes, probably. 80th, so it's now 10 minutes if Australia is to get an equalizer. Karacic sent towards the middle with Kuol. Still on the edge now. Back with the Aussies. Motoring forward. Here they go. Behic still going on the ball. Still going. Shot! Deflected. How about that run? Aziz Behic almost with a great goal, probably goal of the tournament as he cut it back. Emiliano Martinez almost stuck in no man's land, but a crunching tackle there by Argentina. Got it out and deflected. It's another Australia corner kick. Low-key, though, I had Australia winning this game in one of my brackets, so don't quote me. Nonetheless, this one whipped in by Goodwin into the box. Too far for Karacic. Outside for Klimaric, and it's too far. Yeah, once again, Hristuk. This one was, yeah, look at that. Aziz Behic with great cut on the ball. But Lisandro Martinez, that's why you bring him off the bench. And poor Graham Arnold, he's got his hands in his face thinking, how in the world was that not a goal? It was a great run, too. I mean, it deserved a goal, in my opinion, and probably many Aussies' opinion. Goal kick now for Emiliano Martinez. Glance back there by Sautar. 22nd minute. Again, a lot of time for Australia if they are to get that equalizer here. Once again, Argentina on the ball, one back by Australia. Just like that, a little holding there in the midfield, so goal, free kick rather, towards Australia. Question for Argentina, knowing how the Saudi Arabia game ended up, I think there still needs to be some sort of command, and I think Scaloni instituted that in the guys, especially last time out against Mexico and even against Poland too, as they kept possession. Moy clips it forward. Martinez handles it rather calmly in that instance. Martinez's goal kick just goes out on the end line here. I mean, didn't see much impetus at all. I mean, this is, I think, where if there is a weak point for Argentina, it's probably right here in this moment, just not being switched on when this is a big game in Australia. As I've said many times, 2-0 is a rough lead to have because you think you have protection, but you don't. Collision there between Romero and Kuol. Romero is still on the ground clutching his face. Kuol has gotten up. It looks like Kuo will probably be charged with the foul there, maybe. He's somewhat went over the top there, so kind of the guilty party there in terms of fouls. But either way, fans on their feet from both sides, Argentina and Australia, for this matchup. Anxious to see who advances in this one overall. Take a look at Lionel Messi's strike from earlier. Kind of a low settler in, only 86 kilometers an hour. Do the math about maybe, I don't know, 40, 50 miles. That was the max speed. The average was, I think, around like 65, 70. Not bad. Not bad overall. So yeah, how about that though? Too. Lionel Messi, 789 goals, and this being his thousandth game in his career. How about that? That's an insane pace. That's GOAT mentality. This is his 1000th match overall. 789 goals. So he's been playing for a millennium per se. Fernandez plays through, might have Lautaro onside, or Messi rather. Either way, it's offside. So once again, a free kick, just reset like that for Australia. Out towards Sautar. Now it's Hristuk again. Hristuk, good nip away there. I believe it's Enzo Fernandez. Indeed it was. Here he is, hurtling down the left-hand side. Plays this forward now. Here's Lautaro Martinez. Argentina maybe looking for the nails to the coffin recently as Lautaro goes down. Ref says, get up. It's Moy. Aaron Moy, too, kind of playing back. Out towards Kuol. Kuol could be one of those guys for Australia who makes a difference. Only his third cap, 0 goals, would be a splendid time for Australia, and especially for Kuol, to get that first goal here. About 5 minutes plus stoppage time left to go. A lot of tense, nervy moments as Australia's only down by a goal, so they can throw the kitchen sink at Argentina, potentially looking for goal number 2, which would equalize the match. Tagliafico again, just getting some directions from the official. And now we'll see a throw in here. Lautaro gets it out. And here we see Argentina on the attack. Messi was hassled there in the middle. And I believe it was also Palacios who went down. So just some changes. Every team has used all 5 of their substitutions, to note. Got Palacios, Lisandro Martinez, Montiel now in the game. Along with Lautaro, yeah. So as I've noted, Tagliafico also in the game as well. So those are your 5 changes for Argentina. For Australia, you have McLaren, Hristuk, Goodman, Kuol, and Karacic coming off the bench. Goodwin has already provided a goal for Australia. Of course, he provided that against France too, but overall, second goal for him in this tourney, big one too, as it keeps Australia in this match. One, they've been second best for most of it. Here's Messi now, out to Tagliafico. Tagliafico pressured there in the middle, now towards Enzo Fernandez. DePaul can't find Montiel on the overlap. Out towards Romero again. It's Messi. What can Messi do? Gets it out. Could be dangerous here. Ball played through for Lautaro Martinez across the face of goal, and Tagliafico can't steer it in the back of the net. It was a little too far out of his reach, and the angle was closing down in that manner, and Lautaro Martinez tried doing the action as he was going across his body to square it into the net, and instead, it squared across the face of goal and out for a goal kick. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. As I noted before, I'll be back tomorrow for France versus Poland. That will be the only reaction vid for tomorrow. England and Senegal will be playing at 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. And then afterwards, Monday, I'm flying back to Cincinnati. So no reaction vids on Monday. Tuesday, hopefully I'll be back with another doubleheader. Morocco against Spain, and then Japan against Croatia. Nonetheless, it's a 3-on-2. Messi on the ball. Got options either side. Messi cuts back. Messi out to Lautaro, and he can't put it on frame. He was well in the clear, and he skied it. Not just skied it. He put it off target. It's wide. Holy smokes. Probably the miss of the tournament for Argentina. an absolute sitter, and he couldn't put it away. So maybe a little more hope for Australia then. Lisandro Martinez, good work staying with the ball as the pip does not fool him in that regards. About a minute or so left before we enter stoppage time here. Australia, as I've said before, still well in this game. Still well in this game. As we're going to have Karacic take this throw in. Long throw in into the box. Headed up, still in the area. Shot, at least that might have been pipped in the area. Still in bounds. And Martinez will catch it there. And a lot of big bodies in the area, especially for Australia. Even had Harry Sautar going forward. So, especially from Graham Arnold, there has been a signal in sense that Australia is going to be playing higher up the pitch, and almost center backs are going to be playing that. McLaren with the chance. So again, subs making good use of their time so far, but the best use would be in form of a goal if it is to happen. 30 seconds left before stoppage time. Once again, Emiliano Martinez to take the goal kick here. Tense moments here. 90 minutes through at Ahmad bin Ali Stadium. Awaiting the time for stoppage. 7 minutes. 7 minutes if Australia is to get that equalizer and send this to extra time. If not, Argentina is on to the knockout stage, or rather, they're on to the quarterfinals of the knockout stage. Lautaro, still dancing on the ball, goes out, throw in, I believe, with Argentina. No, Australia. Back towards goal. Back with Behic, who had a good chance, and with that, Argentina looks to slow the pace down. They've got the crowd behind them, so it will help them a little bit as Kuol goes up against Messi. Messi able to break Kuol, and another one of the Australians goes out for an Argentina throw-in on the right-hand side. Amazing scenes we've seen from Ahmad bin Ali Stadium. It's truly the first time we've seen the Argentinian fans truly be passionate enough. They've been jumping up and down. They've been clapping. They've been cheering. I mean, this is going to be something. If you have Argentina, and if I'm not mistaken, their semifinal from that side of the bracket will be at Lusail Stadium. More than 88,000 people in the stands should be impressive. Should be a good one, especially if it's against Brazil. You think about it, two teams that have a great following, powerhouses in South America, facing off with a trip to the final. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Australia still with a chance to pull the equalizer here. This one booted back by Lisandro towards midfield. Poked out there, another Argentina throw-in. So Lionel Scaloni making sure Argentina is the one that has the command, not Australia. They've had the command for most of the day, but in sense, it's what you not how you start, it's how you finish, especially in this game. Here's Messi, options both sides. Messi not allowed Toro Martinez in the clear this time, saved by Ryan. So then again, another missed chance for Lautaro Martinez to get a goal. That one too would have been his first of this World Cup. Actually, would have been his first World Cup goal in general, I think. There's Montiel on the ball. Montiel picked off there by Moy. Goes out towards Australia again. This one kept in play by DePaul. Yes, indeed. No whistle had been blown. This is Messi on the ball. Boy, oh boy, he dancing. Getting past Moy. Now slows it down. Inside the box, Messi takes a shot. Just goes wide. Boy, oh boy, is he looking for a brace in that one. Got a smile on his face, trying to paint the corner. Oh, man. If it would have been a little more direct, would have gone in, and nothing Ryan would have been able to do about it. As I've seen, we've seen a lot of goals in these reaction videos. I'm not going to lie about it. I mean, up until the Serbia-Switzerland game yesterday, all of my reaction vids featured games that had 3 goals or less, and the 3 goals was Mexico against Saudi Arabia. You had 5 goals in Serbia, Switzerland, 4 goals in Netherlands against the US, 3 so far today. Could be more. So here's Messi. Again, trying to play keep away. DePaul able to win it there. DePaul going end line. DePaul tried playing in towards Lautaro Martinez. The shot by Palacios is blocked. Still with Argentina, Enzo Fernandez with a nifty cutback to get it back towards Palacios. Back towards Messi. Messi cuts inside. Messi shot blocked. Now to Lautaro Martinez back again. Lautaro again. This time kick save. Rebound is directed off target. Lionel Messi with a chance again to make it 3-1. And Lautaro Martinez for the third time today denied by Ryan. Was a slight deflection, I believe, might have been off of Karacic, and Ryan had to make a kick save there. Nonetheless, Australia persists. Karacic, about 2.5 minutes left to go in stoppage time. Whips this one into the box, headed away. Once again, trying to send it back towards the box. And it's a good clip away there by the Argentinians. Montiel and DePaul there. Fresh legs there by Montiel. Shown there, especially against some tired legs. And speaking of tired legs, DePaul there kind of catches breath there for a while. Boy, oh boy, as he put a shift in a day, going back and forth just like that. Messi as well, hands on his knees. Either way, the Argentinian fans have got the rally towels and or shirts out. They're just 2 minutes away from victory. It's what you love to see about the World Cup. I talked about opportunity, but another thing to note, passion. And definitely the passion has been shown by Argentina so far today. This one cleared away. Backup pitch, 90 seconds left to go. DePaul does the smart thing, just boots it back towards Ryan. What does Ryan do? He'll probably do the same, boot it back towards Argentina. The question is, does Australia get up to meet it? Here's Karacic again, clips this back post, looking for Goodwin, still in the area. McLaren tracks back, still there. Kuol gives chase as it's cleared away. Once again, back outside. Good ball played through as here's Hristok. Hristok cross in back post. Good cutaway there by Montiel to head it away. Lurking on the back post there was Goodwin. 30 seconds or so left. Goodwin back in, headed away. Strong defensive work by Argentina. Still remains with Australia. Still remains with an attacking promise. Goodwin into the box. Cool off the turn. Cool saved by Martinez. It was bouncing there, might have gone past, but Martinez able to take the turn. And just like that, it remains a 2-1 game. You could sense a sigh of relief from the Argentinian players. As soon as he caught that ball, there was just a sense of relief. 7 minutes through, and overall, still no response yet. The clock is still ticking, and the stream is still showing a lot of the pictures, the players, the fans. Nonetheless, play has continued. That might have been the best attacking chance of the day for Argentina. Either way, he's offside. And that's going to be it from Ahmad Bin Ali Stadium. Your first knockout quarterfinal stage matchup is set. It's Netherlands against Argentina. Netherlands won 3-1 earlier today. Argentina picks up the 2-1 win against Australia. The first goal came in by Lionel Messi in the 35th minute. Before it was Julian Alvarez with the goal in the 57th minute to make it interesting. And then on the other side, Craig Goodwin had a consolation goal to put the pressure on Argentina to defend. But either way, the Aussies could not get the equalizer. And for the second, and as it's been throughout their history, the Aussies are out in the round of 16. But I go back to what I said about the ESPN article. Who are these blokes? Boy, can they compete, especially if Argentina can make it to the final and win this. I think people will be looking back and say, wow, Australia took it there. They're a competitive team. It was a fun team to watch, fun team, a persistent team as well, and some passionate side too in Australia. They were lighting up smoke bombs in the middle of the night when they beat Denmark last time. Unfortunately, in the quiet of the night, it won't work in their favor today. So that wraps up my coverage of the reaction videos today. We had Netherlands, US earlier, and then Argentina against Australia only right here on YouTube. Of course, France and Poland is tomorrow. I'll be back here in Cronkite in the edit base for that one. But for now, I'm Mahirson Hassam. So long, good night, and stay safe.